Okay, I am Makoto from the Perl Foundation, and on the phone we have Stéphane, who is going to talk about open food facts and Outreachy. So what we are going to talk today, in summary, we hire interns and developers, technical writers every summer, and it is a paid position. They work on Perl and Outreachy projects. It is good because it is about having new community members and then new development and then new people add new value to the community. We are looking for your help as a mentor. And thank you, sponsors. That's a summary. So let's get into the point. Before the main part, I want to talk about some terminology because naming things is always hard. Summer here means summer in Northern Hemisphere. So summer is like April, May through September. Also TPF, the Perl Foundation, I am using it interchangeably with Outreachy Foundation, TLF, yet another society, which is yes, different names, but same foundation. What we do every year, we do a bunch of things in summer. We participate in Outreachy, Google Summer of Code, and Google Season of Dogs. Some year we did one of them, and some year we did multiple of them. Last year we are doing Outreachy. So let's take a look one by one. The first one, Outreachy. Outreachy is another nonprofit working with us. They provide paid internship to multiple bunch of interns, and we are one of participants. Internship lasts 3 months from May to August. Originally, it started as an outreach program for women, so you may see difference for women if you Google around, but actually it grew to internships supporting diversity in free and open source software. So multiple diversity categories are supported now. What did we do? Back in 2014, we did Dancer and also MetaCPAN projects. And in the past 3 years, we partner with another nonprofit, open source, open food facts to develop Perl program for open food facts. So now I am handing microphone to Stéphane to talk about open food facts.
Thank you, Makoto. Hello, everyone. So I'm Stéphane. I'm the founder of Open Food Facts. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the project and what we do with Outreachy and the Perl Foundation. So if we go to the next slide, you will see why we started Open Food Facts. And the reason is all of us, we know that food has a huge impact on our health, on society, on the environment, but it's actually very hard, even if we do want to change something, to know which product to buy. So if you do want to know what is the best product, you need to go to the next slide, and then you will see. Basically, you have to turn the products, and you have lots of data, but it's very difficult to actually use. So on the next slide again, I have many slides. That's when we ask ourselves, okay, what can we do about it? Not as government, not as food producer, but as citizens, what can we do? And we had this great example of Wikipedia and other projects like OpenStreetMap, for instance. And so I told myself, well, what can I do? I know Perl. I can start a Wikipedia for food products. And that's how Open Food Facts started 10 years ago. So 10 years later, we go to the next slide, and this is what we built. We built a big database of food products in open data. So we now have more than 2 million food products from all over the world. And we try to get as much data as we can on things like ingredients, nutrition, packaging, everything. And all this data is free and open. So it's reused by more than 200 other mobile applications and services. It's used by scientists for their research, by journalists, by health agencies, environmental agencies. And that's really a community project. It's non-profit. It's just like Wikipedia. And so all the backend of this website and the front end is written in Perl. And we also have a mobile app on the next slide. It's actually a mobile application that we completely relaunched just last week. So it's written in Flutter and Dart, like a cross-platform development language. But almost all logic is actually it's a server-driven app. So all the logic is actually from the Perl backend. And that way we can have a very similar experience on both the website and the mobile application. So that's what Open Food Fact is. And I think on the next slide, I'm talking about, yes, what we use Perl for. So I started to use Perl for everything. So we use Perl for the web frontend, the mobile backend, for the API server. A lot of what we do also is taking that raw data about products and turning it into actionable data that is useful. So, for instance, one thing that we do is looking at the list of ingredients in whatever language it is and try to identify each single ingredient so that we can know if a product is vegan or vegetarian or something else. So that's a lot of Perl code as well. Makoto, I don't see you, but if you can go to the next slide, that will be perfect. So the challenges that we are facing is, well, most of those challenges I'm to blame for. So as you know, there's more than one way to do it, but I knew one way and I used that way. So a lot of the code was very old school Perl. I didn't use any of the modern Perl framework. I just used the one I knew from 20 years ago, things like mod Perl, etc. And as a result, everything was mixed up in our code base. And of course, over 10 years, there was a lot of bloat, a lot of things that could be improved. And as a result of that, it was very difficult for new developers to join the project and help us. And that's a pity because it's a project that a lot of people are very, very enthusiastic about. They really want to help. But it was very difficult, at least to help on the backend side. And that's when I don't really remember exactly how it worked, if Makoto worked with us or if we reached out to the Perl Foundation. But then the Perl Foundation helped us to participate to the Outreachy program. So on the next slide, we have what we did in the last 3 years was very much focused on improving the experience for newcomers, especially people that were new to Perl, that even people didn't know Perl at all, so that they could join the project. So it's the situation we are in today is it's much better than 2-3 years ago. We now have a Docker container to set up the development experience, and I have a slide about that after that. It's a huge win for us. We have code documentation for most of the code. We removed all the inline CSS and JavaScript and HTML from the code, and we use a template toolkit. And we are still working on improving the code quality, trying to get our test coverage up. And one big part also of what we want to do now is improving the tooling so that we can use like modern editors like VS Code or Codium and debugger, etc., to make the programming experience better. On the next slide, I just wanted to touch on the one thing that really made a huge difference for us. It's making our project being able to run in Docker. Because before that, to actually run the Open Food Facts backend, you had to install Apache, Nginx, ModPerl, MongoDB, a lot of databases, a lot of modules from cpan. And now you can just do that in like 15 minutes with a Docker container. So that was really a huge win for us. And And that's also the reason why we were able to actually get Outreachy applicants. So Outreachy applicants are new programmers. Most of the time they don't know Perl. So being able to just get them a dev environment that is working in 15 minutes was very, very useful to get them up to speed. And since I think I have a few more slides. On the next slide, what do I have again? Yes, we need your help. Just one thing I wanted to mention is that mentoring is actually very, very pleasant, especially with programs like Google Summer of Code and Outreachy, because we get new people, young people. Most of them are not used to Perl and they are very eager to learn. So I thought it was very, very refreshing. We have one project where specifically we need help right now is that we are also participating in the Google Summer of Code. And there is one project that is very much tied to Perl as well. It's trying to use modern authentication for websites. So that's somewhere where we need help. A big area where we need help is modernizing our code base, like replacing mod Perl by something better. Removing Apache, maybe using Plaque or something like that. It's something we are really not familiar with. So any expertise on that would be very, very useful. And as I mentioned, simplifying things like using modules like a Perl language server so that we get auto-completion, test running automatically, or all this magic that young people, young programmers are used to, that would be fantastic as well. And I think that was my last slide. So I really want to thank the Perl Foundation for 3 years in a row to work with us and Outreachy. That's a huge help to our project. Open Food Facts is one of the big projects that use Perl, but we have a lot of trouble to actually get Perl programmers. So all the support from the Perl Foundation is very, very, very welcome. So the slides will be published and you have my contact information. So if you want to help or if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to talk to you. And I think we can have questions at the end or now, I don't know, Makoto.
All right. Thank you, Stéphane. And let's move on.
Thank you.
So, yes, next year, I hope to do work with Open Food Facts again, but it doesn't have to be only Open Food Facts. So I am looking to add more volunteers, more projects. So we are looking for mentors who can come up with project ideas, who can spend 5+ hours a week with interns. And expectation is they should support diversity in free and open source software. That's Outreachy. I have 2 more things. Before that. Next year, I plan to open CFP in January, and then project starts in May and finishing in August. The next one is Google Summer of Code. It is very similar to Open Outreachy in the sense it is a paid opportunity to develop open source software. It lasts 3 to 5 months in summer, and it was originally open to college students, but it is now open to everybody with 18 years plus. The last time we did was 2019 with a bunch of Perl 6 projects. And looking at next year, we need your help again. Similar, we are looking for mentor who can come up with a project list and help participants. Speaking of the schedule, it is the same, starting in January, starting CFP in January, and then project begins in May. The last thing I wanted to cover is Google Season of Docs. It is similar, but it focuses on documentation. So we hire a technical writer to improve software documentation. It is about 5 months engagement. We did it last year. And what did we do last year? Actually, on Friday, Kawa, participant, will talk about his experience. So join us at 11:30 on Friday. Help, similar. We are looking for mentor who can work with technical writer to make Perl or Outreachy documentation better. Schedule, similar. So summary, we hire interns, developers, technical writers every summer. They get paid. They work on Perl and Outreachy projects. We are looking for your help as a mentor. And thank you, sponsors of TPF, for making it happen. That's it. Any questions? All right. No questions. Thank you so much, Stéphane, and thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you, everybody.
That's a funny one. Okay, Stéphane, we are done. Thank you so much, and I will follow up with you.
Thank you very much.
I will follow up on Slack. Good night. Bye.
Good night.